Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joseph Novichkov, Senior Trading Manager with GDM. Today's outlook, we are starting with Japan. Its benchmark index closed below the 20K point as investors awaited first quarter earnings result. Now, the Bank of Japan will meet on Thursday and is widely expected to hold policy steady. The policy decision, however, might be influenced by the median inflation forecast produced at the meeting itself. While the possibility, of course, is slim, BOJ policymakers may opt to ease if the cut to this fiscal year's inflation forecast is unexpectedly big, or if they feel the slowdown in inflation is damaging enough to warrant any action. Inflation is anticipated to reach barely half of the rate that BOJ expects for the fiscal year and the next. The dollar was at 118.93 yen, down about 0.1% on the day and well below the last week's high of 120.10 yen touched on Thursday and back towards its April low of 118.525 from a week ago. And while a little more details for Europe with European Central Bank and the Bank of Japan are still seeing as maintaining ultra-easy monetary policy, market expectations for the US Federal Reserve, on the other hand, contrasting interest rate increase have been pushing further down the road. Few investors now expect a rate hike in June, with most predicting a move later this year. Data from the Commodity Future Trading Commission released on Friday showed that speculators reduced positive bets on the dollar in the week ended April 21, pushing the currency's net long position to its lowest since September. The shared currency, the euro, dropped about 0.2% to 1.0855, well below Friday's a more than 2-week high of 1.09, hit on hopes of progress in Greece's negotiations with European Union and International Monetary Fund creditors. On Friday, what we saw, Eurozone finance ministers met in Latvian capital of Riga, warned Athens that it would get no fresh aid until it agreed to a complete economic reform plan. As the countries risk running out of cash within weeks, Greece's governor and other officials agreed on Saturday to lend cash to the near-bankrupt central government after Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras assured them that measures would at least for only a short period of time. In the commodity sector, gold was languishing near its lowest in 5 weeks on Monday, as robust equity dented its appeal as a safe haven. But investors, of course, are also focusing on the Federal Reserve's policy meeting this week for clues on the timing of US rate hike. Gold had ticked up 0.1% to 1180 an ounce today, but it failed to make much progress beyond its lowest level since March 20 at 1174.73, reached on Friday as, of course, global equities climbed to all-time highs. The Fed will kick off a two-day policy meeting on Tuesday, with investors watching out for comments on the strength of the economy and the timing, of course, of monetary tightening. US crude fell 14 cents to 57.01 a barrel after rising for the sixth consecutive week in its longest stretch of gains since the first quarter of 2014, supported by concerns over fighting in Yemen, disrupting Middle East supplies, and signs that US shale output may have started to decline. The number of active US rigs drilling for oil has fallen to a record 20 weeks in a row, to the lowest since 2010, fueling expectations of a drop in US production. That's all for today. Thanks a lot for watching us. See you next time. Bye-bye.